You're not meant to add an extra rep every single week. We have been brainwashed by social media, by all these Instagram reels, that progressive overload is a must, that progressive overload is king, and that if you don't progressively overload, then you're not making gains. I fully agree. Progressive overload is a must. This is not a video against progressive overload, no. But what I think has happened is we've got the wrong impression of progressive overload. We've got the impression of progressive overload that it is the addition of an extra rep every single week, or a little bit of weight. Those two things are synonymous. So, adding a bit of weight or adding an extra rep, we're just going to categorize both of those things as progress. Let's just say both of them are under the progress bubble. We have been brainwashed to think that we must make progress every single week, that we must add an extra rep every single week. That is ludicrous, bro. That is ludicrous. To add an additional rep to an exercise is roughly a 2 to 3% strength increase. And I haven't pulled that number out of my ass. If you know about Lyle McDonald and watch any of his bodybuilding hypertrophy videos, you know what I'm talking about. But that's roughly a 2 to 3% strength increase every week. So imagine if you go to the gym and you add one additional rep every single week. In a month, that's 4 reps. In a month, that's roughly 2 to 3, 8 to 9%. We'll just round it up to 10% strength increase a month. For an intermediate lifter, that's not realistic, bro. That's not realistic. The only type of people who are able to add an extra rep every single week, every single workout, are either beginners or juiced up guys. And we're neither of those. We're in that middle zone. You've been lifting for a while. You've made decent progress. You have a great physique already. It is very unrealistic, and it is not meant to happen, that your body and your muscles in a 7-day window from your last workout to today's workout have adapted that much that they're able to produce a whole additional rep. A whole additional rep is a tough job. Last week, let's say, you done squats. You done 100 kilo for squats for 9 reps. And that was your 9 rep max. Like, you went to 0 reps in reserve. You could not have done a 10th. For you to come in 7 days later only 7 days, and for your body to have adapted that greatly that you can now do the 10th rep, that's unrealistic. That's not meant to happen. That progress is a bit too quick. And then for you to try and repeat that again next week and get 11th rep, and next week and get 11th rep. So in a month, you're telling me you're going to add 4 reps. So you're telling me that in a month, you're going to go from 9 rep max squat to 13 rep max squat in just 4 weeks? Unheard of, bro. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And it is totally fine to not add an extra rep every single week. When it comes to bodybuilding, we're after a stimulus, a muscle building stimulus. And oftentimes, repeating the same amount of weight we've done for the same amount of reps will still give us a good enough stimulus to trigger growth. And so there's no shame and there's nothing wrong with repeating the same weight that you've done last week for the same amount of reps. Oftentimes, your body just isn't ready to add a whole extra rep in just 7 days, in just 1 week. To add a whole extra rep, that's too big of a task for your body and for your muscles, especially as natural intermediate lifters, which is what we are. And so the point I'm making here is you're not meant to add extra reps every single week. It's totally fine to stick with the same weight for the same reps for a couple weeks until you really own the weight. And that's the phrase we like to use in bodybuilding. Own the weight and then take a slight jump in weight, or then go for that next rep. So stick at a weight for maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, and then after that, add a little bit of weight or go for that extra rep. It is totally fine to do that. And when you do that, you're not doing anything wrong. You might think, as younger me thought, that unless I add a rep every single workout, then I'm not progressing. Clearly, I'm not progressing, because progressive overload says I must train harder than last time. I must do something more than last time. I must overload my body than last time. And this guy on Instagram and Jeff Nippard here and this other guy on a TikTok reel said, progressive overload is king. If you're not progressive overload, you're not making gains. And my dumbass misinterpreted that as, oh, I must add an extra rep every single week. And if I didn't add a rep, then I've done something wrong. If I wasn't able to add an extra rep today, then clearly my training last week was wrong, because my training last week should have been good enough to allow me to add an extra rep today, right? No, bruv. No. Your body does not adapt that quick. To add an extra rep every week is unheard of. It's unrealistic. It's just not how building muscle works. And so it's totally fine to go a couple reps without a couple of weeks without adding reps. And it's totally fine to go a couple of weeks without adding weight. As long as you provide a good stimulus week to week, and that means choosing good exercises, choosing appropriate loads, controlling the negative on the way down, pausing, going close to failure, all these good things that I'll make a separate video on how to provide a good stimulus. Don't worry, so subscribe to the channel. But as long as you're providing a good stimulus week to week to week, if that good stimulus is coming from the same loads week to week to week, that's fine. That's fine, bro. That's fine. Eventually, what will happen is that load won't produce a good enough stimulus because your body has adapted, and only then do you add an extra rep. Adding an extra rep comes from your body adapting. It comes from your body building the muscle to be able to get that extra rep, not the other way around. A lot of us think we have to add the extra rep to build the muscle. Well, how does that logic work? How are you going to add the extra rep if you don't have the muscle there to do the extra rep? Stupid. And I'm talking to my younger self here, fucking stupid idiot. Q69, hey, 69, call me stupid.
Stupid, I'm not going to let you get the chance.
You must first build the muscle, and then that muscle will get you the extra rep. So focus on providing a good muscle building stimulus, even if that is with the same weight for the same amount of reps. And eventually, 2-3 weeks down the line, your body will build enough muscle to then get the extra rep. And then boom, you get an extra rep. And just like that, you've added plus one rep. Then you repeat that process again, then you add another plus one rep. And maybe in the course of a 20-week bulk, you add maybe 5 or 6 reps to whatever exercise you started with. And that's normal and that's realistic. 5 or 6 reps in 20 weeks, that is fucking amazing progress. You gotta stop being brainwashed by social media and seeing all these juiced up guys who are able to add a rep every single week and think that you're behind. No, bro. 5 or 6 reps in a 20-week bulk in 5 months, that's fucking amazing. Provide a good muscle building stimulus every time you go gym. Don't worry if you can't add an extra rep, and you'll be fucking good. You're not meant to add an extra rep every week. Don't stress it. Progressive Overload Simplified. Like, comment down below, all that good stuff. Let me know your thought of this video. Catch you in the next one. Love.